Hey guys, howdy do. I'm Karen Adamski with ShamaMama.com, and today I wanted to make this video for you to talk about collecting crystals on a budget. A couple of you out there have asked for this video, and I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to do it, but I'm happy that I'm finally doing it today. Today's the day. So I wanted to share with you a couple different things, some tips that I have, tips and tricks, and then I pulled some crystals out that are kind of good starter crystals. So if you're just getting your collection started and you're like, okay, I want to get like the most bang for my buck, but I don't have a lot of bucks, so what's the best route to go? So I kind of chose some stones there, and I'll show you what those are and give you some kind of a price range of what you could expect to spend. So, okay, tips first of all. If you're looking to start your collection, or even if you're not, even if you're a seasoned collector, these are all great tips. Garage sales are great. A lot of times people are moving and they're selling their collection. Sometimes estate sales are great to go to. Somebody's passed on and I had an extensive collection. The family's not interested in it for whatever reason, and they'll sell pieces of it or the whole collection. But that's a way to get some really good deals. Thrift stores are a great place to look. I pulled this one out. This is a big piece of rose quartz that's a candle. You can kind of see some burn there, but you know, it's fairly large, and I got this for $2 at my local Goodwill. It's got the little candle holder in there, and it's heavy. I haven't weighed it, but I mean, $2 is an extremely awesome deal. So every once in a while, you'll find some things like that at a thrift store. Flea markets are really great as well. Abalone shells you can find at flea markets for pretty cheap. And then I like TJ Maxx or some of those home goods stores. Sometimes you could find some big kind of statement pieces there for a deal. I have not been lucky enough to do that, but I have several friends who have, and they'll come back with like these big pillars or big spheres that are like $19.99, which typically you would spend closer to $100 or something like that. So keep your eyes open in those places, and be cautious too, because you want to make sure you're actually buying a stone. If it says it's onyx, you want to make sure it's truly onyx and not plastic or something. So those are some good ideas. If you have a local rock hound, depending on where you live, local rock collector, they're really great people to get to know because they have extensive collections, and they aren't usually selling it to retail stores or working with a middleman. So getting it straight from the source, if you know somebody like that, is great. That will save you a lot of money. That's where we get a lot of our crystals for the my Etsy store. Oh, and then another great idea is, the souvenir stores, like if you go traveling and, I live in California, so out west, we have a lot of like gold mining towns and things like that. And they have like, or Indian trading post kind of stores, they have these bins, and it's like you can fill up a bag for $10, and there's all the different stones. As hokey as that sounds, it's a really great way to start a collection if you're just getting started, because there's a wide variety, and they're usually the more affordable stones. That's how they can do that. So that's a good deal. So those are some ideas that I have. And if you have any ideas out there, share them. I would love to hear. Another great idea before I forget, like at Goodwill or something, if you look in the jewelry area, I've often found kind of gaudy necklaces, not something that I wouldn't necessarily wear, but necklaces with large pieces, and they're all different kinds of crystals. And so I've often purchased something like that for say $5, and then I'll just cut the cords, and I have all these really beautiful beads that I can then do other things with that would have cost me far more than that. So keep your eyes open, especially lapis. You can find some good lapis in thrift stores like that. Turquoise often, which is usually pretty pricey. What else? Oh, one time I found amber. That was like super big find. So keep your eyes open. Okay, so those are some good tips. In terms of which crystals to start with if you're just starting your collection, I would recommend, I have a few here, and these are all on the lower end of the price range. So that was kind of one of my thoughts in choosing these. They're not all the lowest, but you know, they're on the affordable end. And the thing is, all of these are very abundant. So no matter where you're living, you can probably go to your local metaphysical store, your local crystal store, and find these. They're not difficult to find, and that's why they're on the lower end on the pricing scale. I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay, so first one is Amethyst. I'm going to quote you some prices, and these prices that I'm quoting, I'm just going to give you ranges. They're my prices. So I have a store on Etsy. It's BlueMoonShadow, and my prices are pretty low. They're not the lowest, but my quality is really great, and I have good prices, and I think it's a good benchmark, I guess is what I'm saying. So use these numbers as an idea to, you know, like if I say, okay, this piece of amethyst here, this is a raw piece of amethyst, it's really nice, and I sell this for $10, and that's really a good deal. If you were to go and find something like this for, say, $30 or $40, that's probably way too much. If you find it for less than $10, buy it. That's great. And amethyst is it's a beautiful purple stone. Here's a tumbled piece of it. And these pieces that I'm showing you, they range anywhere from $1 to $10. This is the little $1 piece. And you know, size does not always matter. You know, you can have a little piece. If something speaks to you and it's a piece that's, you know, just $1, far out, you know, that's great. And we sell these pendants. These are really beautiful. And we have many different kinds of crystals. They're all $10, these pendants. So it's another really great inexpensive way to collect, because although you can wear these as pendants, and more than one at once. You can also use them on grids, or you know, just use it as the crystal, the stone that you might want to keep in your pocket or whatever. So, you know, multifunctional. All right, and amethyst, like I said, those pieces that I showed you, those are like $1 to $10. I'm just going to kind of read you what amethyst is good for, and this is part of why I picked it, because it's pretty generic. It's good for a lot of things. Because amethyst is a great stone for enhancement of one's physical environment. It is often used for protection because it can bring the feeling that one is surrounded and protected by a bubble of light. Amethyst can clear one's energy field of negative influences and attachments, and can thereby facilitate the recreation of an energetic field. So it's great for protection, divine connection, releasing addictions. Element of wind is what it carries, and the chakras that it's good for are your third eye, your crown, and above your crown, your etheric chakra, known as your 8th chakra. So that's a little bit about amethyst. Another one, this is one of my favorites. Calcite is a super good choice if you're just getting started. It's readily available. It's fairly inexpensive. These pieces that I'm going to show you here run anywhere from $4 to $7 in our store. So just keep that in mind. But calcites are so soothing. They have a very, I wish you could feel it, but it's a very soapy kind of smooth feel. This is orange calcite. And this is a piece that sells for $7. Just to give you an idea of the size. This is a smaller size. This is honey calcite. Isn't that pretty? And that gives you an idea of the size. So just a little bit of a smaller stone, but these are pretty good sized stones. You know, for $4 to $7. That's a good deal. And the thing is, they come in all these different colors. And here's green calcite, one of my absolute favorites. Actually, if I didn't have green calcite, that makes me feel a little bit panicky. I love it. It's like one of my favorites. It's so calming and soothing. You know, so they're all so beautiful and so calming feeling. Here's some blue. And so if you were to just buy a few pieces of the different colored calcites, you know, you've got some good medicine there and a good little collection, you know, that you're starting. So they're good for all different things, the different colors. I'd say just, you know, whatever you feel drawn to, go with that. Another great option, if you're just getting started and you're on a budget, is hematite. It's a really great grounding stone. Actually, this core of the earth is made up largely of hematite and pyrite. And so it really brings you, you know, if you're feeling like, oh, I'm so stressed out, you know, you take a couple of these stones. They're kind of like a gunmetal gray. You've probably seen them. And they're real heavy. You know, but if you just sit and take some deep breaths and hang on to these, you feel your energy just starting to ground. You feel yourself calming. And it makes a lot of sense because you're connecting then with the energy of the earth. So I sell these pieces, you know, the smaller pieces are about $4, and then these larger pieces are about $8. So again, check your local stores. Just, you know, make sure that you're kind of in that price range. Okay. I'll read you a little bit about hematite here. I've got this because this is, like I said, this is a really great one that I think is kind of a must in anybody's collection. Hematite is one of the most effective stones for grounding oneself in the body and physical world. It can counteract spaciness and confusion. I'm so holding on to this while I'm reading this. Okay. It can counteract spaciness and confusion, helping one to see practical concerns and move forward with useful action. Hematite can also be used to balance etheric field and align the chakras. So again, that's the above your crown chakra. But again, it's also very good for connecting you with the earth. So that's really great. It pulls stray energies down through the meridian system to the root chakra. And it carries the element of earth, again, very grounding. Chakras are your third eye and your solar plexus and your root. So that's pretty much, you think about that, your third eye and your solar plexus right there in your diaphragm area, and your root right at the bottom of your tailbone. That's pretty much your entire body, right? So that's pretty good medicine. So that's another one that would be good for a starter collection. Another one that's fairly common that you find around, and this you find often at thrift stores, like I was saying, in garage sales, because it's abundant there, and it's actually the best way, I think, to purchase it. These are tiger eye, and it's just kind of tumbled in all different shapes. These are typically running anywhere from $3 to $7, you know, depending on the size. This is a $3 size. These squares are $7. Do you know this is actually petrified wood? Pretty interesting, huh? So tiger eye is really great. I always recommend anybody who's studying, students taking tests, things like that. It's a great stone to keep with you. Tiger eye stimulates the first through third chakras. It supports physical vitality and energy, and it facilitates cell reproduction and metabolism. Tiger's eye helps balance the physical and the spiritual, and it promotes harmony. So that's pretty good. Element of earth and fire. And oh yeah, I just told you that. So it's the first, second, and third chakras. So that's another good one. Fluorite is another good one. I've just got a couple more here. I don't want to keep going on, but fluorite's not necessarily the least expensive stone. It's kind of on that lower end scale, probably on the higher end of that scale, okay? But it's so versatile, and you get so much good from it that it's worth mentioning. So I'm going to just show you a piece of, here, I'll show you the wand first. This is what mixed fluorite looks like. I don't know if you're going to be able to really see that. Okay, and this is a wand that runs about $18. So I know that's higher than, you know, we're talking about being real frugal. But I just wanted to show you, it's kind of that banded, it's called banded fluorite or mixed fluorite, and it's got the bands of white and purple and green. This is a piece of just plain green fluorite, and it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's almost like a little treasure from a mermaid or something. Wait till I show you the, oh, I didn't bring it. Ugh. I had blue fluorite. That's even like more of a mermaid stone. But that was just, that's $8 a chunk like that, just to give you an idea. And that was raw fluorite. You can often find octahedrons because it's a natural way that fluorite actually grows, as an octahedron shape. So I've got these octahedrons here, and these I believe are $6, just to give you an idea. Okay, so you wouldn't want to pay a whole lot more than that, really. But isn't that neat? Nobody shaped these other than Mother Earth. I mean, this is just how they grow. It's super cool. None of them are exactly the same, but they're all in this really cool octahedron shape. So, super duper cool. And fluorite, oh, I wanted to show you this other. Okay, so this is a $6 piece. Check this out. And this is just like it's like a point, but it's tumbled. So it's just a cool piece. It feels like feels like sea glass is kind of what it feels like, you know. And so that's a good deal. And like I said, it's good medicine. A lot of good things that you get from fluorite. So it's best overall energy cleansing and repair for the auric field. It works well with all the chakras, and it helps with manifestation work, worried thoughts, and anxiety. So, you know, who's not manifesting things in their life? Who doesn't get worried and have anxiety at times? So it's really, really great. And the fact that it works with all your chakras, that's a lot of bang for your buck. So it's worth mentioning. And the last one that I wanted to mention is selenite. And the pieces that I'm going to show you run anywhere from $3 to $12. And selenite it comes in these, this is kind of how it grows. And these big wands that actually are so ginormous, and they're under the earth, but like ginormous wands that are like as big as my house, you know, that big around. So this runs, I think, $6. Here's a smaller piece for $3. This is so good for cleansing. I have selenite in my bed. I have selenite with me almost all the time. You can find selenite wands because, you know, if you do any kind of Reiki work or energy work, wands are important, and they can be very pricey. But this wand would be like about $12, and that's a good deal for a wand. So selenite is really it's a good deal because you can find all different kinds of shapes and sizes that are really, you know, affordable. This is a castle, a tower, that's kind of a statement piece. You know, you can see, I don't know if you can get an idea for how big. I know that really is, but it's something that you would, you know, put on your coffee table or your desk. And this runs $21 in our store. And this is where I'm really wanting to mention in terms of, you know, if you're on a budget, be really careful when it comes to selenite, because depending on where you're at, you know, if you're in a touristy place like Sedona, I saw a piece that was very similar to this, and it was over $80. And that's just, there's no excuse for that, really, other than they paid way too much for it, and so then you are, or they're just charging way too much. So you shouldn't pay too much for selenite, and you can get some really cool stuff. And just to read a little bit about selenite, because it's worth it, selenite is a must-have for crystal collectors and energy healers. Selenite wands and chunks are useful tools for healers and are effective as scanners within the energy field, as they dissolve any blockages and allow one access to knowledge of the spiritual origins. Selenite clears blockages and debris, allowing for a freer flow of energy throughout the chakras. Selenite also receives the pain and itch caused by eczema and similar skin conditions. Placed under one's pillow at night, it cleanses and balances your energy as you sleep. Personally, I can relate to all of this. So I love selenite. It carries the element of wind, and the chakras that it really is great for are your third eye and your crown chakras. Okay, so that's just a little bit. I could go on and on and on. So maybe I'll do another video about other thrifty crystals in the future. But until then, thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions or if you'd like to make any comments or share any tips that you might have, please do so in the comments below, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Namaste. Be well.